Swan City Syndicate, bang those drums. Here.
The rain has cleared the area, we think, and we will have soccer here tonight in Lakeland, Florida. Good evening, fans, and welcome to historic Bryant Stadium here in the heart of Central Florida as the USL League Two Lakeland Tropics host a Southern Division foe in Weston FC. Just underway here. Second meeting of the season between these two clubs. Of course, it's a 14-game regular season, so each team in the division plays the other ones twice, home and away. And in mid-May, the Tropics went to Weston, which, by the way, not too far from Fort Lauderdale, down in Broward County, as we have an early whistle and a foul on the far sideline. Just a little bit west of Fort Lauderdale is Weston, and the Tropics came home with a 3-0 win. So we'll see how things play out here tonight. This is not a must-win situation necessarily, but on paper, a game that the Tropics certainly need to put 3 points in their back pocket and walk away with a win to stay very competitive in what is shaping up to be a very close, very tight, very competitive USL League Two season. In fact, you take a look at the standings coming into tonight, FC Miami City and Florida Elite tied atop the table with identical records of 4-2-1, 13 points, but the top 7 teams are separated by just 6 points. Here's a long through ball to Rafael Vacas. He was the hero last week in that big win over the first place Treasure Coast Tritons. It's not Florida Elite that's in first, it's Treasure Coast and FC Miami City with 4-2-1 records. And Vacas had a pair in what was, at least to date, the Tropics' biggest win of 2019. Tropics have been looking for someone up front to really take charge at the head of the formation, and Vacas did just that last week. Of course, the Lakeland Tropics had relied very heavily in the first couple of seasons, or at least season and a half before he got hurt last year, on Ricardo Diegas. But Diegas not part of the Tropics roster this season, signing as a free agent in the Major Arena Soccer League with Utica about a month ago. And in the interim, Lakeland has really kind of struggled to find someone to finish up front, and last week Vacas really took a step forward. So we'll see if he can continue that here tonight. No Raheem Taylor Parks in the lineup tonight. He's another one that with his speed can very much create up front, but he is not dressed. We'll give you the starters as we go along here. Of course, Vacas is up front along with Craig Barker. Adrian Gutierrez up front. As Barker just pushed off the ball there, and Murphy will come out, but Serrano will clear it to make sure there is no further danger, but a good opportunity here for Weston to press forward. As we said, Weston, on paper at least, kind of the weak sister in the league, but that may be a little bit misleading. They have played some close games. In fact, just recently on the road against FC Miami City and lost just 2-1. So This is not a gimme, even though on paper Weston, as we said, really has not great statistics. They have been outscored by a goal differential in their 7 games of a -19. They have scored only 3 goals all season, given up 22, and they come in at 0-7. The Tropics come in at 2-2-2 as we hit what is the halfway mark of the regular season. I think they may want the coaches to change jersey or shirt colors here. Both Owen Conlon and the Weston coach wearing black shirts, and of course Weston in an all-black kit here this evening. So as the coaches move up and down the sideline, they want to distinguish players and non-players. Actually, I guess it was our own Tropics photographer, Chris Arnold, who they asked to don the pink top. Chris, looking sharp, buddy. Looking sharp. Always knew pink was your best color. So the Tropics come in at 2-2-2, as we were saying, looking to create their first win streak of the season after that enormous win over the Tritons last week. Lakeland with a very heavy home schedule early in the USL League 2 season, and then they will be on the road predominantly in the second half with a trip to the Treasure Coast among the very big matchups that loom. But they won't mean much if they don't get the W here tonight. So they will need a good effort despite the fact that Weston is winless here in 2019. Barker will get it in the midfield circle now to Julian Hall. Back to Hall. Long ball through to Gutierrez, but a little too far. Of course, Joel Serrano getting the call in goal tonight for Lakeland. Mateo Zabala getting the start in goal for Weston. Long ball ahead to Kimura now. Chipped into the box, too far for Gutierrez. And Weston will clear it, but Julian Hall right there to disrupt play, and it'll be a throw in here for the Tropics. Kimura had one of the goals down in that win at Weston, and then there were a couple of own goals in that game as well. So if you're Tropics fans, those are probably the two forwards to keep your eye on tonight. Rafael Tete Vargas, number 10 right there. And on the right side, Kimura, number 8. There's a takedown, no whistle. Good pressure in there, and then a turnover for the Tropics. Svakis with it. He's the one who created the opportunity for the turnover. But then Hall loses it. Kniedekheim leaves it off now for Hall. Here's Vakas, tries a little give and go with Kimura. Kimura just can't quite catch up on the high bounces. Sabala came out to cover up. Good idea between Vakas and Kimura right there. Did have some rain earlier today here in Lakeland, but I believe the threat has passed, so we should be good to go tonight. It's not the case last week, of course, with a long rain delay. Barker gets a foot in there, but Vakas will not be able to track it down. Thomas Echeverria did for Weston, and they will try and build from the back here. No really good chances either way as we head to the 10th minute of the first half here in Lakeland, Florida. USL League 2 action between the Lakeland Tropics and Weston FC. Kniedekheim with it. Captain Luca Vikers with it. Whistle and a foul as I believe that was Gutierrez who was taken down. Murphy will leave it off for Kniedekheim. Right back to Murphy. Being pressured in there by Fernando Ramirez, number 9. Echeverria with it, takes a look upfield. Now we'll try and reverse things. And there's Michael Serenek with it. Weston having some trouble building forward now. Knocked out of play as that pass was intended for Edgardo Orbagan. Echeverria gets it in the midfield over to Thomas Stickley. Stickley gets it back. Murphy on the intercept. And the Tropics will take possession here. There's a giveaway, and Khalid picks it up for Weston. A little contact, but no foul on the far sideline there. Vakas. Oh, this is Kimura with it.
Fans, as a friendly reminder, we ask that you please stay aware of gameplay for the ball flying into the stands. Your safety is our first priority, and we thank you for your cooperation. And go Tropics!
Espinal with it on the near sideline now. Espinal with some speed up. Got by one Weston player, couldn't make it past the second. Espinal again battling over there. Barker comes in to help, and the Tropics will control it. Is Luca Vikers, the captain, number 15. Big backliner. No Ramsey Torrey tonight. Another familiar name not in the lineup, along with, as we said, no Raheem Taylor Parker. Jake Vanderloot, though, back in. Not starting tonight, but available as a sub. Barker challenged right there by Echeverria. Tropics, though, will control and then lose it. Good work by Ramirez to get there for Weston just in the nick of time for possession. McDonald, number 7, loses it. Julian Hall will start the counter. Kimura with it. Ball ahead to Vacas, who also has very good speed. Vacas takes a shot, and Zabala right there to make a relatively easy save. 14 and a half minutes gone here. First half at Bryant Stadium, Lakeland Tropics and Weston FC. We are scoreless. Guess that would pass as the best scoring moment of the first 15 minutes. Joel Serrano has not had any action in front of his goal so far, which he'll take for a full 90. Doubt that'll work out that way, but Tropics really have not had a bona fide chance on Zabala either. Beechers and Obregon comes back to Serrano, who will clear it out to the midfield line. Echeverria will pick it up now for Weston. Long ball down the right flank to McDonald. McDonald being watched by Murphy. They will battle into the side line, and Murphy comes out of there with the ball. Good work by Mark Murphy. Gutierrez with it. Quickly to Barker, and on the back side to Murphy now. He'll play it ahead to Espinal. Gutierrez again back to Murphy, so the Tropics will try and reload here one more time. Now Beechers with it. Switching sides as Barker and Echeverria come together, and they're going to call, I think an offsides actually was called, so free kick here for Weston. Again, pressure from Barker, and he takes down Echeverria and commits the foul. Good play there by Serenik, but it'll eventually find its way harmlessly to Serrano, who clears the zone. He and Baca's teammates at Marshalltown Community College out in Iowa this past fall, both sensational players. Nice finds for the Tropics. Serrano was a third-team junior college All-American in goal. Bacchus was a first-team All-American and has signed to continue his collegiate career at California Baptist, actually, after a very, very impressive 2 years at Marshalltown. In fact, in 37 career games there, a total of 62 points, 23 goals and 16 assists in 2 years. Especially impressive 2018-19 season, Had 18 goals make that in 21 games. Barker trying to track it down deep in the left corner here. And again, offsides is called. Appeared in 16 games in his freshman season. Native of Cordoba, Spain. But only had 5 goals and 11 assists in his first season there. But really was a breakout star last year with his 18-goal performance. Tropics could probably use 1 or 2 from him tonight as Espinal comes together with McDonald there. Tropics have had the possession advantage, no question about that, and really just one fair chance by Kimura. And that's been about it. Tropics in their 6 games so far this season, just 10 goals. So finding the mark has been a bit of a challenge. No more so in the 2 losses that stand out. The U.S. Open Cup game lost to the Villages, where the Tropics dominated in chances. In fact, had 18 corner kicks in that game to the Villages 4, but lost in penalty kicks. And then a couple of weeks ago here, the really tough loss to FC Miami City, 2-0. Again, outchanced Miami handily in that game, but again could not find the back of the net and ultimately paid the price, despite the fact that Miami played half of the first half and the entire second half with just 10 players.
For bringing you today's Dads for a Dollar game. As an Allstate agent, Josh can help you find the perfect fit for your coverage and budget when it comes to insuring anything from your home to your pet. So give Josh a call at 863-268-8136.
It was the game that Miami's first goal was one that Joel Serrano would certainly like to have back. A relatively harmless looking shot, not from great distance, maybe just outside the box, and had a lot of English on it and skittered through Serrano's hands into the back of the net, and that energized Miami City greatly to change their mindset from playing for a tie to playing for the win, and win indeed they did. 2-0. Got a late goal on a breakaway as the Tropics had sent everyone forward on a corner kick looking for the equalizer. And you worry that in retrospect might be the one that got away, that ultimately could cost the Tropics if they can't continue to win here. And they will get a chance to avenge that loss rather quickly. They will have a short turnaround time after tonight. They will be in Miami Tuesday for that rematch with FC Miami City. So, long road trip and a short turnaround time, but we'll see how it all plays out as that corner from Weston goes through the box. Nice run by Gutierrez, rather, but eventually ran out of gas and space and available teammates. 23rd minute here in Lakeland, scoreless between the Lakeland Tropics and Weston FC. Good to have you with us on mycujo.tv this evening. Look for Tropics Soccer again next Wednesday on mycujo.tv. That'll be a 7:30 webcast from Lake Myrtle Sports Complex as the UPSL Tropics SC play their first ever playoff game that was originally scheduled last night over in Auburndale at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. We have gotten heavy rains almost every day this week here in Polk County, and determined by midday yesterday with the forecast of more rain and field conditions already a little dicey to move that game to next Wednesday night at Lake Myrtle. So we will talk to you next on Wednesday the 22nd beg your pardon, that's Wednesday the 19th with Tropics SC UPSL playoff soccer. And not to look too far ahead, but if you're a Tropics fan, you may indeed want to circle next Saturday here at Bryant Stadium if the Tropics move into the second round of the UPSL playoffs. The tentative plans right now are to have a Soccer Tropics doubleheader here, with the second round UPSL playoff game followed by the Lakeland Tropics USL League 2 regular season matchup against Sarasota. Vacas. Nice work there at the attacking third, and then ball goes well.
Regal Lakeland has a huge selection of new Hondas, Acuras,
Out of
GMCs,
play as
Kias,
Kimura
and
mishit that one.
For the best pre-owned inventory anywhere. There's a reason that 1 in 4 pre-owned cars in Polk County have Regal.
So that'll be
back.
fun here next
online
Saturday, should it come to pass.
Or stop by one of their
And
dealerships
you
on
can
Bartow
keep an
Road
eye on
or Lakeland Hills
LakelandTropics.com,
Boulevard. Regal
FLTropics.com,
Sal
of course,
says yes.
all the Tropics social media sites to get all the latest scheduling information. But the tentative plan, weather forecast notwithstanding, is Wednesday night playoff soccer at Lake Myrtle, and then a doubleheader here at Bryant Stadium a week from tonight. Weston with its best push forward perhaps of the night, and gets interrupted off the foot of Obregon. But Weston will control it. Maurice Williams pushes forward. Williams still with it. Nice work on the far sideline. Gets it off to Khalid now. Good idea, but McDonald on the slide at the back post couldn't make a connection.
Across Polk County, including the all-new gated community, English Creek.
26th minute here at historic Bryant Stadium, home of the high school football Lakeland Dreadnoughts, one of the storied franchises in Florida high school sports. Playing an AstroTurf field here, so rain is not really an issue, although it was last week. Had about a 90-minute downpour just before kickoff, and they were out here actually squeegeeing off some of the sidelines to get the field playable, but play we did, and actually everything worked out well, and the Tropics played their best game of the season in beating the Tritons. McDonald gets it over now to Cernak. Throw in here for Weston. Echeverria will do the honors. Nice. See if we can get a number on the injured Weston player there. Looks like he kind of hurt a right knee. It was a nice throw in by Echeverria. This one's going to be all right. One of the downsides of AstroTurf is it's not as forgiving as Khalid, the player that was shaken up. Heading to the 30-minute mark here tonight. Kind of a warm, soupy evening, but not all bad. A little bit of a easterly breeze. Through ball to Gutierrez here. Gutierrez with a cross in front, but the only player there was in Weston black and blue, and that was Thomas Stickley. Got it back to Zabala without a problem. Zabala with a nice boot. Espinal will send it back the other way, and then Serenek does the same. Now Ramirez, he loses it. Julian Hall has it. Still no bona fide, what I would consider bona fide scoring chances either way. 30 minutes in as Espinal is taken down by McDonald and the whistle blows. Mark Murphy, who's been a very nice addition to this defensive backline for the Tropics this season, over to Viters, who sends it deep into the Weston offensive third, but again, Zabala will come out to make sure there is no further threat. As Barker tried to get the header there. That side-winding kick is pretty impressive. Zabala can get that almost about 3/4 of the way down the field, and that is not with a helping wind. It's a crosswind, really. Vacas almost sent in ahead of the field, and now good play by Gutierrez to Vacas. Vacas to Camara, and Zabala comes out and will finally cover up. That had the earmarks of a good opportunity. Vacas with a little room to operate, tries to get it through to Gutierrez, and again, Zabala Johnny on the spot. Or perhaps we should say Mateo on the spot. There's a nice through ball to Vacas. Vacas with a shot, and that is just wide on the short side. That is the best chance either team has had tonight, as Vacas found himself with a little bit of space inside the box there and tried to go short side on Zabala, but was off frame in the 34th minute here. So we remain scoreless tonight. USL League 2 soccer here at Bryant Stadium in Lakeland, Florida. Echeverria with pressure from Barker. Good to see Khalid back out there. Couldn't quite corral that 50-50 ball on the far sideline, but his leg is okay.
Have fun with it. I'll stand over to the side.
10 minutes to go in regulation time. Don't imagine we've got much stoppage time accumulated to this point, so see if either side can have a breakthrough moment here before intermission. Camara loses it, and Zabala will again send it out of harm's way. It is Alicia Villado, number 3 on the defense on the far side there for the Tropics, getting a start here tonight. So we said no Ramsey Torrey tonight, who is a usual fixture on the Lakeland back line. Nice ball ahead to Vacas. Ball with it over to Barker. Barker with pressure from Ramirez. Vacas will take the pass. A little bit of room to operate. Cuts to his right, still looks for some space. Nice through ball. There's a shot in front, and Gutierrez can't get the redirect, and then the Tropics unable to get one on frame there, although it was their best sustained offensive moment so far. Perhaps things opening up just a little bit here in the final 10 minutes. It's been it was a football game, American football game. They say it's been played between the 20s. The Tropics assistant coach is on the sideline clapping his hands and encouraging his side to make sure they keep up the tempo. Ball intended for Ramirez, too far for him. And it rolls right to Serrano. I don't think Joel has even had to make even one save here in the first 38 plus minutes now. No score. Tropics have been slowly building forward and creating a couple of more chances here in the last 10 minutes or so. Murphy takes a look downfield. Settles for a little pass to Barker, who gets it back in the middle of the field. Vacas with it. Chernak with the takeaway, and Weston will try and push forward. McDonald has it. McDonald and Espinal, and then Barker collide, and Espinal comes out of there with a haul. Pressure by Zernak. And Weston will reverse the field here Khalid, who was the injured player with it, tries to leave it off for Stickley. Glides over there with, I don't know if that was Gutierrez, number 17. He will run it off. It's actually Adrian Gutierrez Lorente. So Guti is kind of his nickname. Guti Loriente. That's how they have him listed on the official lineup card.
The Tropics encourage you to join the free Winghouse Rewards Club. Simply go to winghouse.com/WH-rewards.
Throw in here for the visitors from Broward County, looking for their first win of the USL League 2 campaign, coming in at 0-7. The Tropics at 2-2. Take a look at those Southern Division standings. The Tritons of Treasure Coast, FC Miami City on top with identical 4-2-1 records with 13 points. The Villages in third at 3-1-2, 11 points. Florida Elite, Jacksonville Area Soccer Academy, which is a very good side, at 3-2-1 with 10 points. Daytona, one of the expansion teams this year in the league, in fifth at 2-1-3, 9 points. Lakeland in sixth at 2-2-2 with 8 points. So a win here tonight is really almost a must to keep themselves in contention for the upper echelon of the division. Almost had Weston's best opportunity develop there, and then it just fell apart quickly right at the midfield line. Bacchus with it. Bacchus trying to get a through ball to Lorente. Still loose in there. Headed away by Echeverria. Tropics will control as we have a little sunshine breaking out here. You said it really has turned into a pleasant evening. Here's Lorente. Adrian Gutierrez Lorente. Kanidacom tries to get it back to Lorente. Here comes a counter now for Weston, but Serrano comes out and makes his best play of the first half by far. He has not been called on to do much, but did a nice job right there to essentially take it off the foot of Alec Perito as he broke in on the left wing. Bacchus chases down with Sabata, and Weston wanted a foul, and Bacchus is the one that ended up on the turf. So we are into the final 2 minutes of regulation here. Continues scoreless. Really good matchup in the division tonight over Treasure Coast, where the Tritons are hosting the Villages this evening. That'll be a good one. And another pretty good one down in Sarasota as Florida Elite and Sarasota Metropolis FC battle it out. Sarasota will be the opponent for the Tropics here next Saturday night in what we're hoping will be a soccer doubleheader. UPSL Tropics SC in action in their first round playoff game this Wednesday. Should they win that one, they will host a second round game here at Bryant Stadium, we believe, on the 22nd. That's the tentative plan anyway. Julian Hall didn't really have anyone downfield. Thought he might have had Bacchus for a moment, but thought the better of it. Teachers comes up with a little spinorama. He and Julian Hall will combine to get it over now to Espinal. To Barker. Barker with a sliver of space on the left side, in the middle to Bacchus. Bacchus, long shot, and that will be well off target with less than a minute to go now in regulation time.
Call Rana Construction at 863-667-3778 or go to RanaConstruction.com.
Guess you'd be rooting for the Villages in that game if you're a Tropics fan.
Is just one of the things they build well.
That is one road trip also that the Tropics have later on this regular season, up to the Villages, as we have hit the end of regulation and now in stoppage time, and there will be virtually no stoppage time as we expected. So the two teams have battled to a scoreless tie here at Bryant Stadium. It's the Lakeland Tropics 0, Weston FC 0. We will be back with second half action in just a few minutes. We will join you then on MikeCujo.tv. Ready to go here for second half action at Bryant Stadium in Lakeland, Florida. USL League 2 Lakeland Tropics against Weston FC, and we are scoreless. So we won't have to take up much time with the scoring recap. And in fact, the statistical recap overall of the first 45 minutes, a whole lot of goose eggs. No actual official shots on goal and no saves for either Joel Serrano or Mateo Zabala in goal tonight here for Weston. Here comes Barker down the left side. He is held up, but he's going to follow through, get there, and just knocked out of the box. Here's another chance with a shot that hits, I believe, the football crossbar. It did go high and hit the crossbar above the soccer goal, but it will nonetheless be a corner kick for the Tropics, who have come out quickly, which is very much a hallmark of an Owen Conlon coached USL team. They very often come out and play some of their best soccer in the first 15 or 20 minutes. Barker's going to tee it up on the far sideline. He's got a little bit of a wind behind him here. Lots of movement through the box, goes far post, and I think it was Murphy actually the intended target up there. Actually, Lorente or even Bacchus. There were several players making runs there. Julian Hall with it. Espinal on the far sideline. Barker loses it now. Lights are on here at historic Bryant Stadium. What has turned out to be a very nice evening. Lakeland back here a week from tonight against Sarasota.
On the Lakeland Tropics Facebook page will be another edition of
And we'll find out later during the upcoming week whether or not it'll be a soccer doubleheader or not. The tentative plan at one point was to have a UPSL playoff game here if the Tropics SC, the Lakeland Tropics sister outdoor franchise in the UPSL, advances in the postseason. But there's also a possibility they may push that second UPSL playoff game back to a week from this coming Wednesday, back at Lake Myrtle. So we'll have to figure that out over the next few days. Keep your eyes on all the Tropics social media sites as Lorente tracks it down on the far side, makes a nice little move. Cross in front. There's a shot and a save, rebound, and that never got through, I don't think. Again, the Tropics with their two best chances of the game here in the opening 3 minutes of the half. And it'll be a corner kick coming up here for Lakeland. Great action around the Weston goal, but again, the Tropics not quite able to finish it. There's the corner sent through. Still loose in front. And Bacchus took a whack and just misses it to the far post. But 3 minutes in, and the Tropics had about 4 or 5 really good chances.
Here at Bryant Stadium will be Saturday, June 22nd at 7 p.m. as we host Sarasota. For tickets, go to lakelandtropics.com or call the front office at 863-240-0101 or check out our Lakeland Tropics Facebook page.
Foul will go against Weston at the midfield circle. Much to the surprise of Thomas Stickley, number 3. A guilty party there. Bilodeau with it to Beechers, and now back on the left flank to Murphy. Bilodeau will play it up to Kimura now. As Kimura, who had a goal in Weston earlier this year. Corner kick coming up again for the Tropics here. They have come out with an extra spring in their step. It's the third corner kick already of the half here for Lakeland. Swan City Syndicate trying to boost a goal. There's a header in front of goal! I think it was Bacchus off the header. Pretty goal for Lakeland. And they take a 1-0 lead. It was Murphy that took the header off the corner, and I believe it was Bacchus on the redirect in front. So the Tropics, with their pressure here early on in the second 45, have gotten on the board and take a 1-0 lead. Goal comes in the 50th minute. It's almost an errand of inevitability on that one. And that was well executed. A corner right to Murphy's head and right to Bacchus for the redirect. Weston will get a free kick here from somewhat dangerous territory. At least gives them an opportunity to run a set piece should they so desire. Don't know if it's Zernek that'll do the honors here. Looks like he's around the ball, as is Philemon Khalid, number 14. Looks like maybe it'll be Khalid's job here to send it into the box. It's coming right at about the 30-yard line. There's the strike, and it's right on goal, and there's the first save of the night for Joel Serrano. And it, all things considered, was relatively routine. Serrano with a nice boot. Bacchus trying to get there on the loose ball, and he and Jake Walker collide, and Walker took the worst of that, and Bacchus is whistling for the foul. No substitutes yet for the Tropics. Same 11 out there to start the second half that finished the first. Imagine we'll see a fair amount of substitutions, though, here in the second half at some point, because the Tropics, as we said, have that very tough road engagement down against FC Miami City on Tuesday. Ivan Arenas into the game for Weston. Number 22 is going to do the, nope, not going to do the throw-in, flips it instead to Alec Rito, his teammate. Khalid going to track it down. Of course, the Tropics did shut out Weston on the road earlier this year, 3-0. Serrano getting the clean sheet in that one. Kaz Kimura got the actually only goal credited to a Tropics player, a couple of own goals in that game against Weston. Did not help their cause. Beechers double teamed and loses it. The Tropics take it back. Nice work by Villadot. Morente can't control it. Murphy going to step up and challenge. Murphy with pressure on Fernando Ramirez. Did a good job by Beechers to send it back Weston's way. And now a whistle and a foul. Actually, we have an injured Tropics player as the stoppage here, back right at the top of the Weston FC box. You can see what happened down there. May have been a collision between Zabala and one of the Tropics forwards, who is going to come off for just a moment at least. And a very scary injury situation here against FC Miami City. A couple of weeks ago when one of their players' head hit the turf and started actually a little seizure, and did bring the ambulance in for that, but fortunately everybody was okay in the end. But always a little scary when you see that on any athletic field of play. It's Lorente who will check back in, was the player that was shaken up. Beechers gets it to Bacchus, who uses his head to get it in the middle of the field to Barker now. He'll send it far side for Espinal. Ben Espinal with a press forward, but he will get cut off and it'll roll over the end line for a goal kick coming up here for Weston now. 58th minute, 1-0 Lakeland. The goal by Rafael Vacas. Julian Hall on the intercept there. That goes right back over to Weston with a good counter opportunity here. Hall trying to track it down. Khalid will run out of space, and it'll be a goal kick coming up here for Serrano. Looked like that press forward perhaps had some promise attached to it, but Khalid not able to corral it. Serrano with just the one save tonight. That came just a few minutes ago on that restart from about 30 yards out. Beechers played across to his counterpart, Mark Murphy. Lorente trying to get away from Zernak at the midfield line. Good move by Ganidacom. Villado gets it on the right side to Camara, who leaves it for Vacas deep in the right corner now. And Vacas unable to create a cross or even get a corner kick out of that penetration, much to the frustration of Owen Conlon. Third year for Owen is the Lakeland Tropics coach. He's guided the Lakeland Tropics to a third-place finish in their expansion year in 2017, and then, of course, last year a tie for second with the Villages, and the Buffalo advanced in the USL playoffs on a tiebreaker. And just to give you an idea of how good both of those clubs were last year, the Buffalo made it all the way to the USL League Two Final Four before falling in the playoffs. So that's how good the Lakeland Tropics and how close they were last year. But this year, a lot of the indoor players, as Vacas is tripped up and taken down, and that'll be a yellow card against Jake Walker, as Vacas clearly is going to move in on a good scoring chance there, and not a bad decision perhaps by Walker to obstruct. We'll at least give the Tropics a set piece chance from a little further out than Weston was when they had their direct kick from about the 30. This one will be closer to about the 35. Really have to be impressed with Rafael Vacas and his play here over the last few games. He has been a real offensive spark for a team that has been in search of one pretty much since the start of the season. Kandakim will send it into the corner and then head it in front, but Zavala was able to corral that one. The Tropics have a player down as Weston on a good counter here, but Ramirez unable to catch up to the pass, and Serrano is able to cover up. I think it may have been Barker that's down. He was the one who tried to head it in front. He's still down on all fours to the right of the, or to the left rather, of the Weston cage. Or it might be Villadot. We'll have to see. No, it wouldn't be Villadot over there. I think it's Barker. He pulled something. It was no contact. It was a header in front, or at least the contact that I saw. Unless it happened right after the header. So substitution here for the Tropics. So Barker's night will be in the books. Rickard Lundqvist also up to come into the ball game. Inti Antunes is the substitute for Barker. I believe it's the first time we've seen Antunes this season. He did make a brief appearance against FC Miami City here as Lindquist checks in now. And Ganidikheim will bring his night to a close in the 64th minute. And Antunes also made a very brief appearance up in Jacksonville in that game against Florida Elite. The upcoming schedule for Lakeland, as we said, Tuesday they will be in Miami to take on FC Miami City, the rematch of that tough loss here the first Saturday in June at Bryant Stadium. And then Sarasota will visit on the 22nd, a week from tonight. Here's Antunes trying to make a cross. And good defensive play in front, but it'll be a corner kick for the Tropics here. Looks like Kaz Kimura gonna head to the far corner to take it. And then after the Saturday showdown against Sarasota, 3 straight on the road for Lakeland. As we mentioned, the Tropics have a very heavy road schedule in the second half of the USL League 2 season. Tonight the halfway mark in front, and that is knocked out of there and out of danger. 3 straight, starting with a Tuesday, June 25th meeting with Daytona, in Daytona, and then always a fun one, the rematch with the Villages SC on the final Saturday of June. That's the 29th up at the Villages' new soccer field. Debuting this year and going to be built out over the next several years, so that'll be fun to watch. One of the really big rivals of the Tropics, really their primary rival. I think that's fairly safe to say after 5 regular season meetings in 3 years and a U.S. Open Cup matchup, as that one is served into the box, but Serrano makes the save. And then a rematch against the Treasure Coast Tritons on Saturday, July 6th. So a tough stretch of games coming up. In fact, it's actually 4 in a row on the road, because they'll finish that 4-game road trip as Kimura can't get there quite in time as Zabala covers up. They'll finish the 4-game road trip on Tuesday, July 9th against Sarasota, and the season finale, or at least the regular season finale, will be back home here at Bryant Stadium on Friday, July 12th against Florida Elite. That is the team's only Friday night home game, and that will be Friday, July 12th, 7 o'clock start here at Bryant Stadium. So only 2 regular season home games left here at Bryant Stadium after tonight. 5 on the road. After the exact opposite in the first half, 5 at home and 2 on the road. Intercept by Khalid. Julian Hall will challenge, and Khalid didn't appreciate it. Good defensive recovery by Lindquist there. Just fresh legs into the game. Kimura with it. Whistle and a foul against Weston. Antunes with a long try, but well wide of the mark. So for Vacas, that is his 3rd goal of the season. He now becomes the Tropics' leading scorer this year. He and Kimura came into the game tonight with 2 apiece. Raheem Taylor Parks, Beechers, Gutierrez, Goody Lorente, Craig Barker have singles this season, and that's been it for the offense. So Vacas in his 5th game now with 3 goals. Hall gets it to Vacas now. Over to Lindquist. Lindquist. Room on the right side now for Kimura to operate. Kimura tries to get the cross in front, but a good defensive play by Walker to clear the box. It'll be, I believe it'll be a corner here for the Tropics. or will it be a throw-in? It looks like it'll be a corner, and Samura will get it short. There's Lorente who had it on the end line there. Knocked over the end line, so another goal kick coming up here for the Tropics. Lakeland 1, Weston no score. 70th minute here at Bryant Stadium, and we have a injured Weston player down in Mark Murphy perhaps had a little collision. Beg your pardon, that's Beecher's in there, not 15, not 5. I think it was he and Echeverria who got a little tangled for a moment. Cooler heads will prevail. And we'll tee it up again one more time here from the near sideline. Whistle, and they are going to call that one dead before it ever got to the box, as there was a lot of contact in front of Sabala. And Weston will quickly counter here. All with a push from behind. He will draw the whistle as Arenas went down hard. Substitute coming in for the Tropics. It'll be Pedro Espinal. Ball into the box, too tall for everybody. So Espinal, Pedro Espinal, 19, now into the game. Julian Hall is still out there, so we'll see who he came in for. Hall has it right at the midfield circle now. He presses forward. Good play by Echeverria. That one never got through. Weston technically been pretty solid here tonight, just has not been able to create a lot of chances. That has kind of been Lakeland's MO as well. Lindquist with it. Over to Ben Espinal. Fancy footwork by Vacas there. Now over to Espinal here on the near sideline. Espinal with a cross in front, and that's headed out of danger. Lindquist tried to step up, couldn't quite control it, and again could have created quite a chance as Hall is wrestled down by Andrew Nino into the game for Weston, number 11, and they will add Jethro Pang, number 13. Also, gonna hit the pitch here for Fernando Ramirez, number 9. Hall was actually injured on that last play, so he does come to the sideline. Nice ball from Lindquist to Vacas there. Vacas makes a move to the outside of the box, tries to get it in for Kimura, but broken up, and Weston will come back the other way, but quickly lose possession. Features Nice little move by Lorente. Lindquist gets it on the right side now to Espinal. Camara tried to hit Lorente, but that connection did not work. Khalid and Espinal battle on the sideline. Looks like Julian Hall is recovered and going to head back in. Murphy. All with it now. Espinal with a little room to operate. Gets it wide to Kimura. Kimura into the box, still with it. Gets it in front and it just goes over the end line, and Kimura a step short from setting up possible chance in front of the Weston goal there. 76th minute now. Tropics nursing a 1-0 lead. They came out with a lot of explosive chances in the first 10 minutes or so of the second half, but things have kind of quieted down a little bit here as Hall taken down and the whistle and the call against Nino. The Tropics have had a lot of the possession, but have not created the kind of chances they had in the first 10 minutes. Again, a build-up here for the Tropics. Nothing will come of that one. Lindquist's pass intercepted. Defensive work over there by Stickley. Obregon tried to hit Jacob Evans there. That was broken up, but Weston will control, and there's a tackle and no whistle as Nino is taken down. Lorente can't possess it through the midfield. Weston with it. A shot, and Beecher's got the worst of that one. And it'll be a corner kick coming up here for Weston, so a chance for the visitors to There's a long cross, and it's going to miss everybody. Walker able to track it down and keep it alive in front. Here's a chance, and that one goes well off mark as Khalid let it fly from about 20 yards out. Kaz Kimura's night is done. Jake Vanderloop will check in for Kimura. Jake wearing number 14. Played first year with the Tropics and got hurt early on. He's a good player. Has not dressed for all the games this year, as Coach Owen Conlon has shuffled a number of players on and off the 18. As we mentioned, no Raheem Taylor Parks tonight, one of the Tropics' better forwards. Espinal with a nice takeaway. Nice little give and go with Lorente. Vacas tries to keep it alive, but Here comes Weston with a counter. Doesn't last long, however, as we are in the final 10 minutes of regulation here in the second half. 1-0 still Lakeland. Goal in the 50th minute by Rafael Vacas, his third of the year. There's a cross trying to find Vanderloot, but that will be knocked out of play and give Lakeland yet another corner kick. Not quite as many corner kicks as we saw in that U.S. Open Cup game, but Tropics have held the advantage in that statistical category as well tonight, and converted one in that 50th minute. That was a corner that Murphy headed in front to Vacas, who got the redirect. Short corner this time. And that is an opportunity witnessed. Always a little nervous when it's just a 1-goal differential. Something fluky, something unexpected, maybe a great individual effort can tie the game in the blink of an eye. So this one's certainly far from over. Is the official going to have a word or two with Murphy now? He was the one that was a little physical in front with Echeverria a couple of minutes ago on a corner kick. No card pulled, however. Nice header by Stickley, but Beechers will play it back to his goalkeeper, Joel Serrano, looking for his second straight clean sheet against Weston this year. Tropics had a 3-0 win down in Broward County back in May. Hall and Khalid collide, and Khalid going to correctly be whistled for the infraction. Tunez collects it off to Lorente. Back to Hall. Lorente through now to Vanderloot. Jake on the pass to Lindquist. To Lorente, to Hall, and now back to Luka Beechers as the Tropics run a little clock here. Trying to push forward. Espinal with it. Vanderloot down the right side. Makes the cross, a header in front, a goal! Pretty play! Jake Vanderloot on the assist. That's one of the prettier goals the Tropics have scored all year. And that's the breathing room that the Tropics have been looking for. Credit the goal to Antunes, but really give a lot of credit to Jake Vanderloot on a terrific assist. A couple of more subs now coming in for the Tropics. Jesus Colombo, number 9, and number 7, Tim Kasparek will check in. But that might be the one that salts this one away here in the 83rd minute. And Tunez, his first of the year from Vanderloot. Perfectly executed. Here's Hall with it. Hall looks for Vanderloot. Just talked a minute ago about what a quality player Jake really is. And when he's available and on the pitch, can play defense, can play forward, as we just saw. He's a talented forward for the Southeastern University Fire, not far from here in Lakeland. Florida Tropics in the news this week. And a recap by the Lakeland Ledger in their editions Friday of the Florida Tropics' terrific off-season acquisitions, 9 in all during the free agency period, and also re-signing 3 of their own key players. Going to be a very exciting season at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland come December, as the Florida Tropics will start their 4th year in the Major Arena Soccer League. Of course, several of their players play for the Tropics SC UPSL team that will be in the playoffs Wednesday night at Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. Serrano going to head that one away. Careful here as he's off his line, but Espinal able to make sure Serrano does not pay for that. Lucas Monaleras and Victor Pereras, who was one of the players re-signed here this offseason, much to the delight of Tropics fans. As Khalid breaks through, Serrano will not corral it, but it'll be a goal kick nonetheless. Of course, Lucas Teixeira, one of the Tropics' top defenders who missed most of the last MASL season with injury, is the Tropics SC coach, Hugo Silva. The Florida Tropics netminder is the Tropics SC starting goalkeeper, Richard Carvalho, one of the really terrific off-season signees on that roster as well. Carvalho had 30 goals indoors last year for the Harrisburg Heat, 9th in the entire MASL, so a great addition for the Tropics offense, to be sure. One of many. Can follow all the Florida Tropics off-season news and read up on all the new players, including Kid Dynamite, Gordy Gerson, Joey Tavernisi. These are all-star players in the MASL, all coming to Florida here for the 2019-20 MASL season. Two and a half minutes of regulation time here. We'll probably have a couple of minutes of stoppage time in the second half here, and a couple of short injury interludes. Tropics perhaps pressing to equal their win down in Weston, which was also 3-0 back in the middle of May. It's 2-0.
It's 2.
2-0 tonight. And the 3 points will move the Tropics to 3-2-2 and 11 points on the season, and keep them very much alive in the USL League 2 playoff chase. Vanderloot going to try and track it down in the corner. He's got good speed, but just couldn't quite get the hips turned at the right angle to keep it in play. Of course, we'll have to see the outcome of the Tritons in Buffalo. That is a terrific matchup tonight in the USL League 2 Southeastern Division. Press forward here for Weston. They need 2 for an equalizer. Cross in front, knocked out of there. I think it was Beechers who did the honors that time. It was. Khalid will get it back out to Sirnek, but the Tropics will counter now. This is one of their subs, Jesus Colombo, with it. He's a little slow in getting up. Official says play on, and Colombo will get right back into the action here. Final 30 seconds of regulation, and we'll have, as we said, we think 2 or 3 minutes probably of stoppage time, and that will then put it in the books as a W for Lakeland, short of something astounding here in the final ticks from Weston, who really, in retrospect, I can't tell you that they've had one true bona fide great scoring chance tonight. They've pushed forward on a couple of occasions and looked like they might create an opportunity, but just really did not. end up with great shots on goal. And I think Serrano has only had to have made one save here tonight. We're in stoppage time now. We'll play it out here at Bryant Stadium. Tropics will improve to 3-2-2, and Weston a game effort, and they've had a lot of those this season, but they will fall to 0-8. As we mentioned at the top of the webcast, not as easy as it might have appeared on paper, even though the Tropics dominated most of the possession and certainly had much the better chances. But there's the long cross, and Serrano will let that go out of play. So we'll be back with you Wednesday night on mycujo.tv, 7:30. The webcast start from the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex, the Tropics SC, as they host Greater Orlando Soccer Academy, GOSA, the Spurs, in a 7:30 kickoff, first round of the UPSL spring season playoffs. That should be a good one. The Tropics SC and GOSA met during the regular season at Lake Myrtle, and the Tropics won that just by a 2-1 count, so that will not be any tap-in Wednesday night for the home-standing Tropics. First time ever for a Tropics team to make the postseason, so that is exciting. That game was originally scheduled Friday, and there's a header and a goal. So Weston will not go quietly here, that is for sure. As on the corner, the visitors make it a 2-1 game. Don't like to see that for no other reason than goal differential could be one of the tie-breaking factors before all is said and done this year as well. So some new life here for Weston as they score only their 4th goal of the season. And the official will at least give Weston a few extra seconds here to perhaps get an equalizer. So who knows? There's a foul, and in frustration, Zabala kicks the ball all the way down the field, and that alone could have been a yellow card. I think the infraction came just outside the top of the penalty box, so it'll be a direct kick here for Lakeland from a very advantageous spot on the field as Miami Weston trying to save whatever seconds that may be left here in stoppage time. They'll certainly give Lakeland the free kick and probably Weston maybe one more push forward if they can get a quick possession change. Colombo is in there along with Lorente. I think it's Lorente that may hit it. We'll see. Nope, it's Colombo, and that never got through. Sent back out to the middle of the field, and Lindquist will bang it right back the other way for the Tropics. That might have been better advised just to settle it down, but time will expire. The visiting Weston FC side will not get the opportunity to get an equalizer, but they do get one in stoppage time. So the final here tonight at Bryant Stadium, the Lakeland Tropics 2, Weston FC 1. Lakeland improves to 3-2-2 on the season. Weston falls to 0-8, but a game effort by the guys from Broward County tonight. We will talk to you next on Wednesday night, 7:30, mycujo.tv, the UPSL playoffs, the Tropics SC as they host the Greater Orlando Soccer Academy, and then the Lakeland Tropics will be in action on mycujo TV Tuesday night down in FC Miami City, and you can check mycujo for the time on that. I believe it is a 6 o'clock kickoff in Miami, and then back home here against Sarasota on Saturday, June 22nd. So the final once again here tonight from Lakeland, Florida, the Lakeland Tropics 2 and Weston FC 1. We'll talk to you again Wednesday night from Lake Myrtle Sports Park. Until then, have a great week, everybody.